Hello and welcome. My name is Sheep Thief. Today I'll be coming at you with a WARNO replay analysis. Look where we are here in this nice normal parking lot. Things are a little chaotic, doors are open, looks a little weird. But World War III is about to break right here, and who would think that this nice sort of ordinary looking parking lot behind a little, mall, little mart right here, would be a place where there would be so much bloodshed. Yes, we are on Twin Lakes Duel. You guys who play WARNO will know that this often turns into an utter and complete bloodbath right here. I did a replay analysis on this map not long ago, but I just wanted to do this one as well to kind of illustrate my approach to this map, and also it's just kind of a fun game. So here we go. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like WARNO, and if you have replays, let me know in the comments and I will commentate them. I'd like to commentate a few of my replays and get some perspective into your guys's styles and learn from all that. So anyway, I'm playing 35th Desantniki and my opponent's playing 11E Parachutiste. So airborne versus airborne. Definitely going to be a smashing game. So my approach here was to go to take the fight early on and try to take Zulu here. Feint, put a little bit of resistance here in Oscar, but pretty much push everything for here and then go for Alpha. The risk here is, of course, that my opponent, I mean, there are multiple risks. The first risk is that my opponent sends enough stuff here that they can push all the way to Papa and get this +2 on me. That's, I would say, not super likely. It is fully likely, especially a division like 11E, for them to push for Oscar here and totally take it over, sort of irrevocably. Like, there's no, once, especially a division like 11E, once they're in a city like this, for this division, it's going to be really hard to get them out. Now, the same thing goes for us, so once we're in here, it's going to be hard for him to get us out. And to me, this point threatens Alpha, so Zulu threatens Alpha more than Oscar threatens Papa, and I can't quite put my finger on why. Because as you can see, it is essentially a symmetrical map. This side, I think, has a bit of a harder time. I think it's harder to rush Lima than it is to rush Zulu. So, yeah. So in essence, I'm going for Zulu and then going to threaten Alpha and try to, I'm abandoning Oscar except for like an OP Spetsnaz and a sniper just to kind of see what's going on with the sniper, and then the OP Spetsnaz, maybe it'll get some kills as he's trying to get in there. I think I actually misplaced this OP Spetsnaz. I put it all the way up here, which is a mistake. You should definitely unload it like in a place that can see their vehicles. Maybe just the church. Maybe this. I think that is probably the best move. Maybe this. Everything else can't really see. So I think in the future I'm going to unload that OP Spetsnaz here. Now if they come down this road, it can't see it. But I think if someone's being super aggressive, they're going to try to come down this road, or like right here, and get into here. So I think I misdeployed that, and then again the sniper is just for vision. Here I've got a decent amount of AA. I've got 3 AA pieces, the Iglas, because the French planes are so good. I will slow this down for just a second to talk about deployment a little more. But yeah, as you can see, I think I have 4 Spetsnaz going in here, 2 OP Spetsnaz at the front so they can unload and try to get some kills, and also kill any saggies that he's like might be trying to bring around the flanks. Saggies are like these sort of glass cannon tanks that the French can get. And then some Metis infantry to push up to the front for any reinforcements if we take over the city. Conquer's here to take this over. I'm going to slow it down even more so I can talk about his. And yeah, then just Spetsnaz and some Afghansi for fire support. So my opponent is sending a scout up here, and then his presence in here is a sniper, some machine guns, some legionnaires, and some chasseurs with 2 Mistrals and a Milan over here. He's going much heavier into this place with flamethrower sapeurs, para SAS, which are a big fat squad of good units, para marines, Mistrals, and another scout. So that's pretty much it. He's starting with 2 CVs, I'm starting with 0. So that is also significant. So here we go. Let's watch this, what happens here. So my OP Spetsnaz unload, not quite in time, but we do get some kills on vehicles. I give a general unload order pretty soon here because he did sort of get there before us. This point is closer to his side of the map, and I just give a general advance because all these Spetsnaz will stun this infantry, and the sooner we can stun it and get all this firepower on them, the better. Bunch of stuff going down over here as we're moving across. Over here he kills my OP Spetsnaz. I'm not sure if this got any kills. The sniper is also dead. That I no longer have any presence in the map, but he is losing a lot more points than I lost over here. And I don't think I'm losing anything here. Both of my OP Spetsnaz are alive. We've got a 2 Afghansis that are going to shut this down. And we're not. We just got to the first minute. Here comes, as one would expect, the high explosive bomb, which doesn't get any kills because he loses vision, and I think he targeted it there. So he misses that, which is pretty lucky for me. It is like a normal response for most players to get a some kind of bomber in the first tick of the game, but I think in this case it might have been a mistake. I think it might have been better to either send units over here to push for Papa, or to get units as soon as he can to start surrounding this and start fighting back. But we completely cleared everything here, so that was a really good opening for me. It's probably and it's one of the reasons I wanted to do this replay. It's probably one of the best rushes I've done in the game right here. And I think the secret is simply Spetsnaz and be really aggressive. I think my OP Spetsnaz, like where I'm setting them up, still needs work. I've got my Conquerors in position here. And now the question is, how can I threaten this point? It's hard, especially with 35th, because you don't have like the. It'd be really easy if you had a bunch of tanks and stuff, but we're gonna have to walk a ton of infantry through this forest to try to take over this point. As you can see, my first cards that I send are okay. Apparently 2 Afghansi that are just sitting over here. We'll see if I ever. That is terrible. I bet they're gonna sit there the whole game. So what's that? Another thing that I get is, I think, yeah, some CVs just to get these points because he's at a +4. Comes up to a +5. That's a pretty serious tick. I do get some of these new Afghansi anti-helicopter. Come on. AA pieces. These things are pretty good now because they do good damage against infantry. He gets a VBL Milan over here, but I think the vision here is not amazing. Yeah, like with this vision you can see what's coming in, so this is a good place for a scout, but it's not enough vision to get an ATGM off at that distance. My opponent, I guess, gives up on this, tries to infest the center with infantry way back here. Is he doing the same thing? Did he forget to unload these? Interesting. Oh my god, these Afghansi. I think I might have put them in to my opening and not deployed them. They're gonna sit there the whole game. That makes me want to cry. I mean, it's not really, it's 140 points, so it's not like some huge amount of points, but still, that's just bad. So he's at a +5, he's at 700 points, but we are slowly bringing this down. He actually gets a, it just died right there, because I sent a Spetsnaz GRU, which was a good thing to do, because they caught the CV lacking as it was leaving. So I send another CV to shut that down, and when we get this, this will be a good, this will slow down the point loss even more, +4, up to 800 points. But his presence on the board is diminished. We've got these Conkers moving up here to try to watch this situation, and hopefully, I was having trouble. This is the first time I've gone for this point like this. I mean, I've gotten this point in the past, but it's the first time I've like had it be my initial strategy. My setup here is I have these Spetsnaz coming forward for these scouts here, but they're actually doing a ton of damage. Oh, they have a machine gun. Okay, I didn't know that. So I pull them back. It's a good unit. Get this point down to a +2, and now after I get that, we'll be even, and the tick will be gone. My goal here is get. I got a decent amount of homosexuals into here, and now because I'm noticing that he's not here, I'm just like walking across the map, kind of fanning through here, trying to infest this forest, and start setting up on this point. Maybe not a great idea because it did like fully reveal what I'm doing. The saggies come in. This is exactly what we don't want to be fighting out here in the field, although we do have a decent amount of ATGMs to try to do something about it. He has mortars out. BBL Milan utterly fails to be killed. Actually, there it does. Something got it there. We get some. I noticed this build up over here, and so we got some BMDs set up, although pretty clumped. I think it would be better if they were spread out a little more. And these saggies are going to kill this OP Spetsnaz. This was not a good position for that. Saggy gets stunned by this homosexual. This homosexual is taking a bad path. Should be kind of lined up in here. Definitely having an ATGM there is pretty good. I think the ideal layout is a ATGM here with like at least one Conquer's vehicle there. My opponent makes a good move here and sends Aeromobile forward in these Super Pumas, which heads off my attack here. Definitely a good decision. And now I'm starting to feel the pain of these French planes, which are super fast, very hard to kill, especially with trash Soviet AA. I bring out a MiG-29, but he backs off. He brings out his Mirage. This is gonna be bad for me. Gets the kill. We do wound that. There's a Afghansky anti-helicopter AA piece there moving forward, but it's too late to deal with the Pumas. His laser-guided bomb goes for the strike here, but misses it just barely. Mortars are off target as well. These Spetsnaz are, now they're moving into the mortar fire. Not good. I do have some supply here. Actually, we're out of it, but I've healed some stuff in here. I think I healed some of these Spetsnaz. But these Spetsnaz are going to kill everything here. So this is really all I need to defend the city against this division. There are other divisions that have more armor. That would be a problem. But just in case he sends in saggies or something, I brought these Desantnikis and their BMDs. Over here, so he's like slowly moving there. It's getting wiped out by Spetsnaz. Over here, Spetsnaz are taking out Aeromobiles in here. OP Spetsnaz kind of watching over here. These Conkers are waiting for this infantry to be cleared out before we go for it. This high explosive bomber comes really deep over my lines, and I do have sort of foreseeing the French air spam. I do have a deep AA net to deal with that, and as you can see, this one unit of Spetsnaz completely wipes that out, barely taking any damage. This unit of Spetsnaz completely wipes out these aeromobiles, taking very little damage. High explosive bomber comes in, does get the Spetsnaz. So that's a bit of a problem, but I think he killed his own unit right there, actually. I'm not sure if I got the final kill there. So that actually kind of defeated the purpose. We have our CV here, and I guess I judged that that was gone. I think I was wondering whether or not that was gone. I wasn't quite sure. This Milan 2 wipes out all of these BMDs that I had over here. Milan 2s are good units. Does go down. I need to have infantry clear this lane out. This lane is so huge to controlling the map. But I do get my CV in here and finally get a tick. And just by controlling this, we're going to get a +4, which is pretty good. But he does have 900 points on us. But I'm feeling, at this point, I'm feeling alright. I'm trying to get some of this healed. I've got supply. I've got this supply helo here to resupply these trucks. As you can see here, I'm bringing the supply truck back here to resupply with this and come back here. I do not bring these supply helos up to the front because I've had them die, and it makes me want to die. Makes me die inside. One thing I wasn't quite sure with what to do here is how to infest this point thoroughly. It's definitely controlling this right here that is the key. I'm trying to get okay, so eventually I send my OP Spetsnaz around here. I think an OP Spetsnaz here and an OP Spetsnaz like here or even here is the key. But as you can see, like, it's kind of hard to, like, he can just pop in here and then hide behind this, which I think is balanced because this is on his side of the map, and it should be kind of hard to take this point. So I'm not complaining, but I'm just not quite sure how to do this. I pop the Conkers around to try to see this thing, and they just can't. It's bad. Like, they aren't seeing it. To me, they would be able to see that. Both of them. Am I crazy? They're just not seeing it. I send the OP Spetsnaz forward. This thing finally gets a shot off. He does pull it out. No, actually, it's not even shooting at that. There's some chasseur here that he does get out and miss the vehicle anyway. OP Spetsnaz are trying to get in here to kill that, but he does intelligently have some chasseurs in there, so I'll try to keep an eye on that. What my opponent is doing wrong is he's not like pushing for this, just doing the same thing that I'm doing. Instead he's trying to kind of put like mortar fire on this, which is, it's not going to be enough. We do get that somehow. Not quite sure what did it. This Conquer's is going to get hit by the Milan. No, my Afghansky is going to get hit by the Milan. And this OP Spetsnaz is finally in position, but comes into the waiting arms of the chasseur. So this is still a work in progress. Like that, this is all very imperfect. His LGB comes over our AA web, but they're so fast that our units can't even target it. Spetsnaz coming forward. I think I'm thinking about sending them across the map, but at this point, I think I do send these across the map. Yeah, laser guided bomb takes no damage. I do finally have some infantry coming kind of across this way to clear out these buildings, but these Saggies are going to make that difficult. The BMDs are going to put some ATGM fire on it. This Jaguar comes in really deep. It's gonna die. This Milan is gonna go down, hopefully. Doesn't. Interesting. Now now this Desantniki is coming up to this building. These Saggies are coming into anti-tank range. I don't know if I'm not on hunt. That's so bad. We could have killed both of them right there. I guess I was just trying to charge the building thinking that he's gonna like... My MiG-29 flies over his two Mistrals and they destroy it. His Saggies pull back. We do get one of them. This Milan 2, that's what I'm really curious about. Is that gonna die or not? Now these are in just a terrible position. Middle of the road here. Afghansky doing a better job of kind of putting pressure here. I pulled the Spetsnaz back. I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, I don't quite know what would be best in this. I think a Spetsnaz and OP Spetsnaz My own just ground-based ATGMs. AA like in this. Try to end up controlling that. Chasseur Power take out my Conqueror's vehicle right there. But I am still at a +4. I'm catching up in points. This is a problem for him. He's just made... Okay, so laser guided bomb comes in. This is a big infantry attack. He takes out one of my Spetsnaz. It's always an unfortunate thing when your Spetsnaz die because you do not have that many of them. Sappers come into contact with these Chasseurs here. Spetsnaz will win this pretty handily. This homosexual does get a kill on a paramarine squad here, and these Legionnaires are just walking in the open without a lot of support. These Spetsnaz do have to pull back. I guess they have this machine gun support, but honestly I'm totally fine with him kind of coming into the city a little bit in order to get him in range. Like I'd rather him be here where he doesn't have the vision of his support. I bring out some grads to kill said machine guns, which I think was a good call. They fail at it, of course. And now his Legionnaire paratroopers are all but dead. These are like expensive elite units. Probably the only unit that can kind of come toe-to-toe with the Spetsnaz, although I think the Spetsnaz would win in a fight. In fact, I think I know they would. But I'm not fighting fair here, and instead just back off the Desantniki and bring in a full HP Spetsnaz here to handle this. And he tries to pull it out. We're gonna stun him with the incendiary rockets or whatever those are, and it will go down. Over here, the Saggies have pushed this off. There's a nice saggy blob here. This BMD is not going to be enough to handle that. So I'm a little worried. I've kind of lost this. These Saggies, which are normally not considered very good, are like so good against my division right now because I have no like armor that can tank one of their shots and then kill their sort of glass cannon thing. They're a cool unit. I've been thinking about playing more 11E. It's the division when I first started playing WARNO, I played 11E exclusively. Thinking about getting back into it. We do get a Saggy here. He made a mistake coming into this area. It kind of looks like a flank. I think he should be doing this in concert with the general advance of all these units here, and he might break into the city. Saggies take down a BMD. I bring a homosexual over here into position. There's a fight breaking out here between Chasseur and Afghansi, but they're really low, and I finally have the OP Spetsnaz in a semi-decent position to keep units from coming in here. His Saggies pop smoke and then move out of the smoke into the range of the ATGMs. And my ATGMs actually miss, and he's forced to pull him out. Are we gonna get that one? I don't think we are. Some poor timing here. He should have done this a while ago. Now it's kind of coming in staggered, which I can deal with. These Paramarines advancing alone into Spetsnaz once again, but they don't have their incendiary grenades, so they do get a little closer. These ones do have it. Yeah, you can see they just launched it. It's gonna get stunned, and then the submachine guns are gonna just shred them. Big air raid coming in here, and we're nearing the end. Laser guided bomb kills the Spetsnaz. Sneed comes out. My division doesn't have radar AA, so that's a waste of points. And I think one of these laser guided bombs didn't get its munition off. But we are ahead in points, and he's lost a lot of units, and I think it's reasonable for him to call to surrender here. Again, really what I'm just trying to, I don't know, this is almost more for my analytics than your guys'. I thought it was kind of a fun game. I was sweating for sure. But watching this, um, I don't know. I hope it's informative. I guess the value of it is just a successfully conducted takeover of this city and push into this, which is I think a totally viable way to approach the map, as opposed to the more standard make a line right here and get the +1 from controlling, or actually no, if you control these three from my perspective, then it's even, because they control these three and you have to push for this, which is, I think that's the standard approach to the map. But what I did here I think is also viable with airborne divisions, because if you can successfully punch through all the points they invest into here, this is super open. So I hope this was entertaining. Trying to think if I have any final comments. The other thing that my opponent should have done, and what I need to remember to do, so I'm not trying to criticize him, I'm just saying, I think all of us who aren't in the top like 500 players are just, he has these mortars, he had the units out. We need to all feel bad about how often we just like refuse to use smoke. Because if he'd gotten smoke here, these could have pushed in, smoke along here, all of that infantry that got wasted could have pushed in, and they would have run into Spetsnaz. But at least they would have gotten into contact at full health, and then he could like laser guided bomb the Spetsnaz. He could, you know, get his infantry in there without having to march them across the field. So I think that is the counter to this. If you're trying to attack this, make sure you use smoke. And I'm talking to myself more than I'm talking to him. And then also get good, like he had flame sappers, so flamethrower sappers is what he needed in the forest here, and some anti-vehicle stuff to control this forest. I think that's the key to not losing this, is just put a few points in here if you think that's going to happen, or if you see it happening in your first batch of points. Don't get a bomber, get some infantry in here to make sure that this doesn't happen. If that made sense. I hope that makes sense. And then the final thing he did wrong was he had all these points in here, like a lot of good units. Machine gun, close quarters infantry, recon, 2 AA things, paramarines. This was more than enough. Like, just because of the AA here, he could have just walked across here and it would have forced me to divert a bunch of points. So you have the same amount of points as your opponent, so don't be afraid to mirror what they're doing, because it will. If he'd pushed here, then this wouldn't have happened. That's all. So let's go. He did surrender here because these aeromobiles went down. He was like, all right. Okay, KD. Yeah, Spetsnaz performing well because there's so much urban fighting, but nothing really super standing out. I'm curious what these OP Spetsnaz got. Just some transports, so I really need to work on my positioning of them in these rushes, and maybe not even bring them. Maybe it'd be better to just bring, I don't know, we'll see. So those are not working exactly right. For my opponent, yes, the French planes are very strong, and these Saggies were, I think he should have brought more Saggies out. Because they have smoke, so if he got too close to my ATGMs in the cities, he could have just backed out. And I think he and I were similar ranks. He's level 12, rank 2000, so a little bit below me, although I lost so many games yesterday that, okay, so I'm like rank 1300. I got up to like 800, I think, or 900 recently, but yeah, I'm hovering right around 1000, so we're both like middling players, I would say. But there's a good good game. I liked it. So thank you for watching, and again, if you guys have any replays that you want me to look at, then please let me know. See ya.